All right. Hey, everybody. So here's the scoop.
Scoop it.
This was going to be the Die Hard episode.
This is some shit, guys.
Yeah, we're not happy right now.
Not happy.
So if you watched the last episode, it was our Christmas episode. All four of us were here together.
Hi, I'm Mitch, by the way.
I'm Mitch. We're just jumping right into it. No nonsense. We were all here together to do the Christmas episode, and that's the same day we recorded the Die Hard Is It a Christmas Movie episode.
Yeah.
Very fun episode. We all had a blast doing it.
Much anticipated.
Yeah, much anticipated. All five people were buzzing.
And we came to the conclusion. We're not going to tell you.
We came to a conclusion. We came to a conclusion. And then you guys, I wasn't in the last one, recorded one. What did you guys talk about again?
We talked about we started with the metaverse. We got into artificial intelligence a little bit, the future of interaction with you. It was really light.
Yeah.
No, but it was the three of us without Mike, and it was great. And
yeah, it was so much better.
And then mysteriously, that's the one episode.
So behind the curtain, we get together because our schedules are conflicting. That's why
finally all four of us got together.
For the most part, it's mainly me and Mitch because we live the closest to each other.
Right.
So we can be here all the time. But so all four of us got together. We were shooting it. And so pretty much, yeah, like we shot 3 episodes that day.
It was great.
We found out later.
An hour after we all left.
Yeah, like an hour and a half, 2 hours after they left. When I was getting ready to edit and start going to post, our soundboard cut out about halfway into our Die Hard episode. There was no indication when we were recording. There was no indication. Nothing told us. The file was complete, and it just the sound gave out. And the microphone on our camera is just bad.
Something's fucking with
It's not good. I think we're going to look into getting maybe a backup boom just in case.
Oh, yeah. Start recording on our... Yeah, we're going to get comments about, you idiots, why didn't you try this?
Yeah, don't you know...
Redundancy.
Yeah.
Look, okay, you know what? Sponsor us, and we'll get redundancy.
There you go, yeah. You want better quality?
Yeah, pay us.
Subscribe to our OnlyFans.
Hey, at least buy us beer.
Yeah.
Subscribe to our
OnlyFans. Anyway, and then their episode they recorded after was just completely lost.
Yeah.
The file was corrupt. We'll talk about that later, but it was lost. So here's the deal. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna let you guys watch the 20 minutes or listen if we're on Spotify now.
Oh, cool.
So watching or listening, we're gonna let you observe the 20 minutes that we had, and then we'll talk about it after that.
Yeah, try to remember what we talked about, close it up, kind of.
Yeah, because I think we thought for a moment maybe we could reshoot it, but that would be the most fucking low energy, trying to recreate the discussion, recreate the argument.
Yeah.
It would have been fucking cringy.
I think I was getting pretty wasted by the latter half of the episode anyway. So, this is great for me.
Yeah.
But
anyway, so that again, technology sucks, but here is the 20 minutes of what we had. We'll see you on the other side.
Hey, Merry Christmas, everybody. This is the Fake Philosopher's official Christmas episode, and with much waited for, much anticipated. First of all, before we get into it, hey, all four of us are here. It's pretty great. You know, we got a good thing going here.
I got a good holiday vibe.
Very good holiday vibe. Yeah. With me on my left is...
Do you not know?
Hi, Danny.
I told you before we started.
No introduction.
Hi, Danny.
Hi, guys. I'm Danny, and I'm very rarely here.
We're quality over quantity, man. I mean,
you leave them wanting more.
Me and Mike are just dry heaving at this point. But and we got Mike and Eddie over there. Hi, guys.
He says he's rare here. I'm rare. He gets better ratings than I do. I get the least amount of ratings out of anybody on this dais.
That's not
Is
true.
that something we can gauge?
That's not true. I think you've gotten the most comments.
You probably have gotten the most comments.
And I'm not just talking about YouTube. I mean, just mean in general.
People give me a lot of feedback just about Eddie.
I appreciate that. I did get 2 people who messaged the podcast wanting to know what business we are.
That's right.
I feel like those were
they're definitely
like
fake.
hacked.
Yeah.
You should have just said we're in Conflict Diamonds.
I said we're a podcast.
We're in a proctology practitioners.
Yeah.
We're into underwater basket weaving.
Okay, so that's successful. I get more messages than anybody else on the dais. But what happens if we get an order for 5? Mike,
you lost me at dais.
Order for 5.
Yeah, well, they want 5 podcasts.
Oh yeah, we can.
We can totally
Yeah.
give them 5 podcasts.
By
We'll
Tuesday?
give them 6.
By Tuesday, yeah.
Yeah, that's like a Hallmark episode.
Anyway, as the episode much anticipated, much waited for, everyone's been clamoring for this.
My feed is just a
It's
buzz
blowing up.
with people wanting this.
And it's the classic question. It's a question that comes up every year when the movies come out, when the Christmas movies start rolling and Mariah Carey starts singing. Everyone's asking, is Die Hard a Christmas movie? Now, Mike, you brought this up as being a subject for an episode. Why exactly? Was there a story? Or?
For those listening who follow me on Facebook, it's become a tradition for me every December to state that it's not a Christmas movie. The reason why I started doing this, and this is an attack on a lot of people, because every Christmas season, all these edgelords online are like posting this shit. There's two kinds of people in the world: people who know Die Hard's a Christmas movie and people who are wrong. And then posting all this shit like they're edgy and cool and blah, blah, blah. And every December I would look around and say, who are they arguing with? Who are they trying to reach?
Interesting.
And then I think it was maybe 3 years ago, I was like, you know what?
Fuck this.
I'm going to be the guy. I'm going to be the guy to challenge them. And let me tell you, what started as a troll took the red pill.
It's blossomed into a whole podcast.
You've gone down the rabbit hole.
It's its own thing.
Yeah, so we decided to actually address
We're going to hash it out.
And people get mad.
Yeah, people get really mad. Yeah.
So here's the thing.
so
I
mad.
just realized we are going to get into this discussion. Things are going to get heated. We are surrounded by a shit fuck ton of medieval weapons right now.
Yeah, but then we'd have to go off camera.
We get more
Okay,
ratings
come back
if we
and-
just kept it on.
Eddie can definitely reach a weapon without getting off camera.
Yes.
So,
Done.
Careful.
for an instance, just for an
That's a
example.
relic.
There.
It was close to
there.
close to my face.
Okay, well, it's yours.
That should count for something.
That was his argument. That was his
Well,
argument
it's yours.
of why he's not allowed near schools anymore. It's like, well, it was there.
He was just carrying an axe around.
Anyway, so Danny, do you take the opinion that does count as a Christmas movie generally? Or?
So I'm with Mike, where it's like I originally jumped on board just to be like, yeah, of course it is. It takes place during Christmas. It's about the family. Yeah, but then I took the blue pill, and I went down that rabbit hole.
All right.
So you think it is a Christmas movie?
yeah.
Okay. And Mike, you don't. Eddie, do you have an opinion? Have you seen Die Hard?
I saw it in the theater. I wanted to see freaking RoboCop. There was a model.
1984.
There was a model of Ed 209 in the Cineplex Odeon at Universal Studio.
Nice.
I wanted to see that. My dad didn't want to see that, and I just
So
said,
you compromised, and
well, I just said, I saw Die Hard on Ion LA. We should watch that. And we both went in not knowing really what it was about, and then came out going, holy shit, that was awesome.
It was a
great
book.
movie.
It was a book first.
It was?
it was a book
Well, that
called
makes
something
sense.
else.
Oh, okay.
A book called something
wasn't
It was
called
a
Die
book
Hard.
called The Christmas Carol.
That's a callback to our previous cast.
Well, that's what. Don't get me wrong. Die Hard. A lot of people when I say it, they're like, "Why do you hate Die Hard?" It's like,
Yeah.
no, Die Hard's a great
No,
movie.
no,
It's with
yeah.
great characters.
Mitch, to answer your question, I don't have an opinion yet.
Okay.
Okay, we have a neutral
we
party.
have.
I'm
we have-
kind of carbon neutral.
So because I think I tend to agree with Mike, but I can make an argument either way. So I decided to kind of moderate a little bit,
Yeah.
and Eddie can be our kind of decision maker.
Who does he think? Yeah.
Who wins? Who wins? Yeah. So who wants to? I don't really know how debates really kick off.
Well, I know you're gonna bring a list up. I don't know if we have to, but like to establish what makes a Christmas movie.
What makes a Christmas?
In my opinion, a Christmas movie has to have Christmas as an absolute requirement for the story to take place. It's a requirement.
I already have an antithesis to
So,
that. But okay.
so the fact that the movie has to take place on or around Christmas, or
Like,
Christmas.
You can't swap it out.
Okay, so Christmas, if it were swapped with another holiday, okay,
Then the movie would be completely different.
okay. Danny, a rebuttal.
My rebuttal will be Home Alone. That doesn't need to have
Thank
Christmas
you.
in it, but that is considered a Christmas
Okay.
movie.
I wanted to
disagree
do a
with you.
temperature check. Yeah. What is
Yeah,
is
what
Home
are we-
Alone a Christmas movie? To me, that's a Christmas movie.
Yes, and I disagree with you saying it's not.
Okay, because the family has to leave, right?
They're
They can
leaving
leave for
because of-
any reason. A funeral, a wedding.
You do not travel internationally with that many people for a funeral.
They're not going
Two-
international. They're going down to Florida.
No, they're going to
went to
Paris.
France.
In France,
In
yeah.
the second one?
No, the first
No,
one.
the first one.
I thought they were going to Florida.
No, they went to Florida in the second one.
Oh, okay. But okay, fine.
And then so they took an international trip.
Wait.
What?
In the first one, when the mom was riding around with John Candy,
She got a flight back to the States, and then from there, I think they were like in New York or something. I forget where she was. All the flights were booked.
Gotcha.
And then John Candy was like, "Well, we have our polka band," and then took her from there.
Okay,
Yeah.
just want to clarify. So Danny's making the point that if Home Alone happened around Halloween or Thanksgiving instead, it would not have been the same movie.
Well, no, it would have been. That's my argument. He's like, it would be the same movie.
It would not be. It would not be because one, the travel, you don't travel for Halloween.
No, but
like
you travel
that.
for Thanksgiving.
Not to France.
You might not, but this family might.
It's an American holiday. I wouldn't go to Germany to celebrate 4th of
It's
July.
actually not. They celebrate Thanksgiving in Canada too.
Fine. Okay,
they do.
fine.
Yeah, they do.
Then I'd go to Canada. Fine. If they went to Canada.
That's international.
If they went to Canada, fine. Okay.
They could have gone for Canada Day.
Or it was just in the middle of summer on a vacation. I mean,
Okay, but you're interrupting me. Two, the robbers were specifically staking out houses knowing that they were going to be loaded with Christmas presents.
Yes.
Three, the weather was actually very crucial to the plot, as far as the ice and the guy shoveling snow because he salted.
Robert Duvall.
It wasn't Robert Duvall.
It wasn't Robert
That's
Duvall.
fine.
I mean, I can see.
That is funny.
But
He
like
would have been a good that guy.
Yeah, I can see it. But
I'm about to prove you wrong.
it was very specific that he would. What did he say? Like he would shovel
Technically,
the snow.
he wasn't
and
shoveling snow. He was salting
salting
the
it.
streets.
That's right. And then like he would kill people. That's the story.
Yeah, that was the story.
Yeah. So when you look down the movie, these were all things that were needed for that movie.
I would say they're not needed.
Unless you change the plot
You don't change the plot. The plot is a kid's left behind by his family who travels away from home.
for Christmas, and his house is being robbed because they're specifically looking at houses that are stocking up on Christmas shit.
They're not.
They are. He said people are leaving for
Okay,
Christmas.
Let me ask you this. If you're leaving for Christmas, why would you leave all the presents at home for Christmas?
Ask the writers. That's not my. that's
Were
not
there
my
Christmas?
mistake.
Were there presents? I forget. I
Okay,
haven't seen it.
Let me
I
adjust.
saw
Let me
Home
adjust.
Alone
You're
in
right.
the theater too.
Let me adjust because you're right. But they did know. They went around pretending to be cops,
Yep.
knowing people were leaving for Christmas vacation. So
Well,
they
it could be any vacation. It could be summer vacation.
no.
Just no.
Okay.
You're absolutely right that it was not Robert Duvall.
Yeah.
Score one for the end.
So you can make the argument that if the guy could pretend to be a cop and going around to like, oh, are you traveling for Thanksgiving? You can make that argument.
Yeah.
But when lined up with everything else, Christmas time is required.
I don't think it is.
It is. The weather, the reason for travel, you wouldn't travel to France for Thanksgiving or Halloween in that large of a party. That's like their entire family.
But why would you travel with that large of a party for Christmas? I don't see
Because
it.
it's a family holiday and they're going to France.
But why?
You
Why are
never
they going to
travel for
France?
your whole family never traveled for Christmas.
No.
Why were they going to France? Wasn't it like a family? They had family out
Yeah,
there.
family.
Like,
You have the time
Again,
off.
I
I
can
can
take
see
this up
that.
to the writers. Wouldn't it be easier for whoever's in France to come to Chicago?
Well, you have the time. You have
But
the
then that
time
wouldn't
off.
line up with him being home alone.
You have the time off, and if you may, Christmas may be negligible, but then again, why is your house so decorated? And you might be spending New Year's in Paris. He's making a lot of good arguments, though.
So
Please take the time to
persuaded.
research the shit out of this.
This is logic.
I have not.
You would not travel in that big of a party with your family for Halloween because you just hit it. You have time off. You're probably going to stay there for New Year's. It's very specific to the time frame.
Okay. I'll give you that. I just don't see if you remove Christmas from the plot, it doesn't change the plot.
I would disagree with that because there was a lot of elements in the movie that revolved around Christmas. Like I said, the presents to be stolen, the Christmas.
Actually, I redacted my argument about that.
The Christmas decorations to step on and his bare feet and shit.
You can easily replace that with Legos.
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
That are
but
just sitting in the corner of the room.
and also him coming to terms wanting to be
didn't
around
Yeah,
family.
I-
I mean, which I know wanting to be around family it can be pretty universal, but especially true for the holidays.
Mitch, I take issue because you're the one who's dressed up so nice and moderating this. This, my friend, is not about Home Alone. This is about Die Hard.
Die Hard.
It is.
We were
We got sidetracked.
no, we were using Home
We
Alone
were
as
establishing
an
a
example.
baseline.
Yeah. But that's why where I define a Christmas movie is that you cannot replace it if you could replace it as a plot device, then it's not a Christmas movie in my opinion.
Okay, then I put this forward. Why was everybody at Nakatomi Plaza? for a Christmas
For
party.
a Christmas party.
Oh, you think you're so clever.
It was actually
You
it
think
was
you're so
Christmas
clever.
party.
it was
Oh, sorry.
actually a celebration of their new building being open that just happened to coincide with the Christmas season.
It was a Christmas party.
Why would
There was
he
a
be in
Christmas tree
town?
in the lobby. It was a Christmas party.
Okay. I've had this. I've already reviewed this. A lot of companies, especially a company like that, does not have one party every year. My brother-in-law worked for a company. They would do barbecues for their, like they would have parties 3-4 times a year. So Christmas is not needed to have a company party.
We could argue
No,
exceptions.
I would.
Okay.
Okay. That might be, but I'll give you this: that Hans Gruber, when he had assaulted the building, knew that that building would be almost completely empty because one, it was a new building, and two, it was Christmas Eve,
Okay.
and everybody was going to be gone with their family.
Well, it could have been a weekend,
Why would John be there?
But it wasn't.
but it could have been.
Yeah.
That same exact movie could have happened on 4th of July.
Then it would be a 4th of July movie. But it didn't. It
No,
happened on
'cause you-
Christmas.
you take
so
it
it's
out.
a Christmas. It's a Christmas movie.
So any movie that involves Christmas at all is a Christmas movie.
Yeah.
that gets
So
into
Step
another.
Brothers, Lethal Weapon,
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's another one. Is if
Harry
it-
Potter is a Christmas movie,
No, because the majority of the movie doesn't happen on Christmas.
and it's not needed.
In Harry Potter, no, it's not needed.
In Step Brothers, they had a Christmas dinner. It's a Christmas movie. Lethal Weapon,
Lethal Weapon, the big chunk of that movie takes place in the Christmas season. So yes.
Iron Man 3.
Yes.
See, I don't think any of these are Christmas movies because you could just change the season. Iron Man 3, maybe not because of the snow.
Yeah.
But fine, it's January instead. And the plot does not change.
It does, because a big
No.
part of that plot is him giving Pepper a gift.
A Christmas gift?
Yes. And he keeps fucking up with the gifts, so his final gift is be like, fuck it, I'm destroying all the suits.
Was that Christmas gifts or him just trying to be right by her? I
No,
honestly,
it was him trying to find a good gift for Pepper.
I honestly, and this is not just me just trying to defend myself, when I watched that movie, I never thought like, oh, it's Christmas gifts.
yeah.
I just thought he was just trying, like, he kept fucking up, so he's just trying to give her presents.
Yes.
That's what I thought it was.
Well, then we're going to get down to a basic disagreement: is if a movie takes place on Christmas, does that make it a Christmas movie? And if it doesn't, then
As I said,
According to Hallmark, yes.
well, Hallmark aside, if it takes place on Christmas or not, if the holiday itself is a plot device that could be swapped out with a different holiday, then it's not a Christmas movie. Because that's what I said earlier. If Christmas is not required for this story to take place, it is not a Christmas
So
movie.
if you replace it with another holiday, does it become that holiday movie?
No.
Is it a Halloween movie? Is it a Thanksgiving movie?
No.
Okay.
Now, I will say this before we move forward. And I've actually made this example before. For whatever reason,
talk a little bit closer to the mic.
Oh.
You sound echoey.
Sorry.
I thought you were about
Thank
to
you.
collect into the mic. You're like. So I will say this. For whatever reason, everyone knows me, The Departed is my favorite movie. For whatever reason,
Christmas movie.
When did you say that?
in passing.
Oh, okay.
But I watched that movie for whatever reason around Christmas time, for some reason. So to me, I think of Christmas when I watch that movie, just because I tend to watch it in December for some reason.
Okay.
It's not a Christmas movie, but to me, it does remind me of Christmas. If that's your view on Die Hard, I have no argument.
It's not. I mean, I do watch Die Hard.
No, but
around
I mean, but if
Christmas.
you're someone who says Die Hard and you think of Christmas, and now
Yes.
you're like, that's why I think it's a Christmas movie, I have no argument. But I'm saying objectively
yeah.
is it? That I just want to clarify.
Yeah, that's debate because we can get into personal whatever. I know someone who watches Paul Blart Mall Cop on as like their first Christmas movie because it takes place on like Black Friday or during the Christmas season or whatever.
yeah.
And for whatever reason, that's their tradition is to watch Paul Blart.
And that's what I'm saying. So I'm not attacking
Well,
those people.
I mean, they're not already, uncredible because they watch Paul Blart.
It's a good movie. Shut up.
I thought you were going to say they watch this movie and they think it's good, but
Yeah.
No, it's standard. It's for that. So we need to. There's a difference between what we consider a Christmas movie and what is generally considered
well,
a Christmas
the
movie.
way I kind of look at it is, I always use this example is like in the MCU, Marvel Cinematic Universe. I objectively,
Is that what that stands for?
Yes.
Okay.
To those that might not know, to the bots watching who couldn't put it together, the Winter Soldier, in my opinion, is objectively the best made movie as far as the story, the plot, etc. That's my opinion, objectively. But it's not my favorite movie. I enjoy other ones more. That's why I look at this. Objectively, is it a Christmas movie? If it makes you think of Christmas, if you watch it around Christmas, I'm not arguing that. I'm arguing objectively, is it a Christmas movie?
Well, the content or
Yeah.
the plot.
then I would say you'd have to establish, guidelines for what makes a Christmas movie a Christmas movie.
And that's where I said if the movie could be made without Christmas in it, it is not a Christmas movie.
So that's a pretty split. We're pretty split on that point. But here are some other requirements for what makes a Christmas
Oh,
movie.
did you look some up, him?
Was a Christmas figure, albeit Jesus or Santa or Fezziwig, being the predominant character in the movie. The character or theme. Well, no, theme's later, but character is because Elf, you could argue, is a simple story of a stray dog coming home and finding his real place, which you could do any time of year. But because the predominant characters in it were Christmas themed characters, that makes it a Christmas movie.
Yes, and also if you take the elf element out of it, it changes the movie name.
Yes,
Like the movie changes drastically.
right. But if it were called,
Buddy.
yeah, Buddy,
But
yeah,
he's also coming from the North Pole.
right.
Like there's so many elements that if you change the holiday, it would
Yeah,
change
but
the entire movie.
but for right now, we're just talking characters, just
Yes,
characters.
okay,
So,
yeah.
Die Hard, any Christmas characters?
No.
How about any Christmas characters relating to other Christmas
Well,
characters?
hang on. Okay. Hans Christian Andersen.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
There is that. There's also, I heard, McLean's wife,
Holly.
Holly, is another Christmas aspect.
Oh, my. These
if you
are
change the-
reaches.
Argyle.
These are
Argyle.
fucking reaches.
Argyle.
These are reaches.
Okay, but that was
That's criteria.
So, Pulp Fiction's a fucking Easter movie because, hey, honey bunny. Like, no. No.
You don't know that it isn't, Mike.
Let's call Quentin right now. No, that I don't buy Holly. No.
okay. Another common, what makes Christmas movies is common Christmas themes. The most obvious, the most popular is the curmudgeon old guy or girl that comes to terms with the friendliness and happiness of the season.
That would be John McClane.
In other words, Scrooge rehashed Christmas Carol. That's been beaten to
So
death.
you made the claim.
Thank you, Hallmark.
Did John McClane?
Okay, so yeah, there's our the 20 minutes of our Die Hard episode.
Yeah, I'll follow up with because it cut out in the middle of the question I was asking was did John McClane go through the typical Christmas character transition thing like Scrooge did or insert Christmas character?
Yeah. So here's just a quick story to follow up to. So it's 2 hours after they leave. I'm starting to load shit on my computer to edit, and I realized what happened, and I text them, and I was like, guys, bad news. So this is kind of a separate story that I went through on my own. So the audio file for the Die Hard episode it's still long. Like I can look at it on my computer. It's still 50 minutes long.
Yeah.
And the data, like the amount of megabytes, is still pretty consistent with our normal episodes, but just the sound is gone.
No, it's like you're recording audio, but the mic just turned off.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I tried to through multiple programs on my computer see if I could uncorrupt it. No dice. And on my data card, there was a random file that was timestamped for just after the Die Hard episode. I'm talking about your guys' episode now.
Yeah.
Just after the Die Hard episode was the timestamp, and it was a sound file, but it was like, and it had like, I could see how many gig or megabytes was on it. So I was like, okay, there's data on this, but it couldn't play in my player. So I tried, all the media players I had that have like the fixture file. I tried all that, and I went online, and this is how fucking irritating this whole thing just built into. So I'm not going to name the company because I like their products. I use their products. But I searched, I Googled for like a program I could use to unfuck an audio file. And so I found this thing, and it was an article on their website. It was their own website that had an article about this program. And so I read it, and multiple times in this article, it said it could fix a corrupted audio file. So I was like, cool, this is it. I downloaded the trial version. I went into it, and I'm not so techie that I know everything. So I kind of followed the steps as the way it seemed obvious. And nothing happened. Or I'm sorry, it said like to go to the next step to actually do it, you have to pay for it. So it was like $60. I was like, okay, fine. Paid for it, did it, nothing happened. And I was like, okay. Tried again, nothing happened. And I was like, the fuck? what's going on here? So I look
Did
at
it also offer to remove your malware if
Right.
you paid for it monthly? Or
no, yeah. So upon actually taking the time out to look at the program, it was a data recovery program.
okay.
So when I was clicking on the file,
Oh, it's already recovered.
it was like, yeah, we recovered it again.
There it is. Oh,
And I was like, wait, what the fuck? And so I'll be honest, I am completely aware that I am slowly losing my mind. Like
Oh,
there,
really?
there,
Okay.
there are moments where I'm just like, wait, what the fuck? Like where did I put that thing? Like there are moments like where I'm like, ugh. So I'm like, did I not read this correctly? Did I not read it correctly? But I read back. Sure enough, this article about this program specifically said fixes a corrupt file,
Yeah. Okay.
audio file.
Yeah. So
And there's no mechanism in the program. Like I scoured it
Wow.
to even do that. And so I looked at their refund policy, and the refund policy said, even if you bought one of our items by mistake, that's your fault. In polite terms, in professional terms, it's your fault. We don't refund mistaken purchases.
right.
And I was like, motherfucker. So I contacted them anyway,
No way.
just because don't get me wrong. If I misread it,
Sure.
fine. But
Yeah.
I went back and checked, and no, like it was there saying
Okay.
and so I messaged them requesting a refund, and I kind of explained the story, and they responded, they're like, well, this is our refund policy. We're sorry. And so I was like, I understand your refund policy, but like, check it. And I've actually made a note, this is through email. I made a point to say, like, just so you know, like, I'm not yelling in this email. You know what I mean? Like, because
Nice, yeah.
depending, I was like, I just want you to know, I'm not yelling. I'm calm.
Yeah.
I'm cool.
Not
So-
angry.
Yeah, so I explained it. I linked it to the article.
Sure.
I quoted the article.
Yeah.
And I was like, and this program does not do what this article, your article, it wasn't like a third party article.
Yeah.
And so the person responded again, like, how about this? And they gave me a few things. Try this, try that. But if you don't want to, upload the file in question to your Google Drive.
Oh wow. Okay.
And link us, and we
And
could
see if we can
and we
fix
could
it.
see if we could use the program to fix it.
Using our tool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm just going to do that.
Cool.
If you could do that, $60 worth it.
Yeah.
I was like, and I'll never use this fucking program again, but fine.
Done. Yeah.
And so it was funny. So I uploaded it, and 45 minutes later, PayPal, because I purchased it through PayPal, $60 refund.
No way.
They didn't even email me back.
No.
They didn't even email me back.
Wow.
So it was just an irritating thing that happened. So we filmed Sunday, and that was all the way till I think Tuesday.
Wow.
And it was just fucking irritating. Anyway,
Dang.
so
I would
yes.
like to see the emails just for proof that you
Yeah.
did do whatever you could and you didn't just purposely fuck us over.
no, I could screenshot, put them up post them on the Facebook.
Before we started recording, everybody, Mike like confided, and I told him I wouldn't tell anyone, but he was like, I'm like, I get self-conscious, and I'm like, are the guys going to think that I did this or I let it slide just because I wasn't in the episode?
That's where I get self-conscious, where I'm like, do they think I'm a piece of shit? I care what people think about me.
we it stemmed another conversation we'll have on another episode, but anyway, but to close up the Die Hard discussion, the only other point I think we really made that I can remember was the other argument in favor of Die Hard being a Christmas movie is the population. I'll explain, but the population decreeing a specific genre not intended. Oh wait, no, and I just thought of another point. Hang on.
Okay.
Intention at creation. The point being, even though it wasn't a Christmas movie, because 90% of the population consider it a Christmas movie or a movie they watch at
Does it,
Christmas,
yeah.
does that make it a Christmas movie? Mike's fallback is, as always, objectively, no. So therefore, no. And Danny's point is being like, well, subjectively, yes. So therefore, yes. And we're like, okay, well, there needs to be a balance there. It could be a little bit of both. So there was that. The other point I had made as we were finishing up was it doesn't have to be a deciding factor, but a major factor in whether it's a Christmas movie or not is when the writers sat down to make this movie, were they thinking it's a movie happening at Christmas, or it's a Christmas movie, or did Christmas become just an element of it later
Tool,
on?
a plot device. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and I think
Well, no, because if it was a plot device, then yeah, it's
I mean, a
Christmas
plot
movie.
device is in. We need something to happen, so we're gonna do this. Like,
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah.
We need. I'm making this up. We need Mitch's wife to die, so hit her with a train. It's a plot device.
Does that make it a train movie?
Is that sure?
Yeah, gotcha.
But no, I think within that regard, I think if I recall, we all kind of came to the agreement that because it was based on the book, a book,
Right.
that even though we don't know this for sure, we all kind of felt like came to an agreement that the guy probably didn't sit down and go, I want to write a Christmas movie.
Right.
He probably was like, okay, I need to get this guy in a tower.
Right.
How do I get him in the tower? And then from there built into Christmas being used. I'm not sure if that was what we agreed on, but I remember us discussing it.
We probably should have read the book. We didn't. I didn't anyway, but we're just professing to be experts on Die Hard.
Yeah.
And we haven't read it.
So, yeah, anyway, and we use the Mark Wahlberg argument.
Yeah, the Mark Wahlberg conundrum.
Yeah, we won't summarize. The Mark Wahlberg conundrum is he a good actor? To where you could say yes because he makes money and he's successful.
Super popular.
Yeah, or you could say no, though, because he's actually not good at the craft.
He's not good at acting, so he's not a good. So you can go back and
Yeah.
forth. And then I brought up Keanu Reeves as well. He's not a good actor, but he's a good
and
actor.
I would say we don't have to go on a tangent. It's almost like he's a good actor as a profession, but not as a craft.
Yeah,
If that, but it's still it's
that same kind of
finding
thing.
the difference
because
in
people decided they like to see him. That makes him a good actor.
Exactly,
And so because people like watching this movie at Christmas, they associate it with Christmas. Does that make it a Christmas movie? So
yeah. So Mitch and I were discussing beforehand what we think we're going to do. I think we already said it, like trying to recreate those arguments, because I think it was a really fun episode.
it was fun. Yeah. That's what I think was the biggest bummer, is that it was good chemistry with all four of us here and all four of us talking. That's the biggest loss.
Yeah.
Not so much the content. It was more just the setting.
No, I get it. And like I said, we were going to try to recreate it, and we're like, no, that's not going to work. That would be fucking boring as hell. But so what?
Because rather than try to retell the arguments, we're going to try to beat the arguments before we even get them out. It's going to,
Like,
know what I
I'm
mean?
gonna
It's
remember what you said, and I'm gonna-
you said
yeah.
this, and I already have an answer, but you didn't say that answer. And anyway, go on.
Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, it would just be a pile of shit. And so what? I think Mitch, you were saying it was a good idea. Is like, instead of trying to rehash it out, we've already asked some people to send us messages what they think about it, and we'd respond to it or whatever. So what we're thinking is that this could be future segments going into next Christmas.
Sure.
To where anyone listening, and we'll post this up too separately, anyone listening, you can send in a video or an audio clip of you making your argument of why you think it's a Christmas movie or not.
Yeah.
And
Or a comment. If you want to just write an essay as a comment,
Yeah. No, absolutely.
and say, we'll address it. So we decide we didn't decide. I had the idea, if we, rather than, because we're not going to have an end all, because every year there's an end all episode or discussion.
I think I mentioned that it's always
After
funny.
the recording.
Someone always says like, okay guys, this is
it.
This is it.
Final.
This is the final
And
thing.
yet, if there's a final every year, that would hint that it was a series. So this is an ongoing discussion. So there will always be discussion. So it's just kind of fun. So this might just be a bit.
Yeah.
Or
kind of like the little segments we have. We'll
Yeah,
have
yeah.
a segment. Oh, someone made a Die Hard argument.
It's a Die Hard
Someone
argument.
sent us a Die Hard.
So submit them, and we'll make little 10-minute, 15-minute episodes where we read or listen to. We'll play your thing if you want us to play it, or we'll go through it and we'll answer it
Yes.
and either agree
Absolutely.
or disagree. Probably disagree. I just know us. We'll probably disagree.
Just for the sake of.
Even if you're agreeing with Mike, he will disagree with you just cause.
Or I could get Danny. Danny was arguing for it being a Christmas movie. We
Right.
get Danny's take on it. If
Right.
someone says it's not. For the most part, they're going to say it is, because December is the time where everyone just hates me.
Yeah. A wife and I were scrolling through Amazon looking for shit to watch, and one of the categories was classic Christmas movies.
And Die Hard.
Die Hard was there.
It's an algorithm, man.
And if you're telling me that Bezos is wrong, I don't want to be right.
I mean, that's a rock solid argument. All right, but so I considered, because we will say this in the recorded episode. Mitch, as you saw, Mitch acted as the moderator. I was arguing it's not a Christmas movie. Danny was arguing it is, and Eddie was kind of the third party we were trying to convince him. At the end of the episode, Eddie did make a choice.
I forgot that.
I remember.
I was blackout.
He was gone. Eddie did.
Did you see what I was wearing? Of course I was drunk.
Of course. No, Eddie did make a decision, and I think we're not going to reveal that decision.
Oh, leave me in suspense. I mean, us in suspense. Okay.
Yeah, because I think it without actually watching the full thing and the full argument, and then just telling the verdict,
Yeah.
it's kind of
Yeah.
kind of undermines it. It kind of
Yeah, you're taking the old How I Met Your Mother approach. Like, if he ever
Kind of.
says how he met your mother, show's over.
yeah. And so I just think it's just kind of we can't give the verdict if you don't know the facts of the evidence.
We should make like a plaque or a board in the background as to like where people are leaning, like yes or
Just
no.
every
It's
time
like,
someone sends us a message and we read it, we'll
it's
have
that's
the
a
tally.
great argument. That's
Yeah.
2 ticks towards whatever. That's
Yeah, so
maybe.
that we again super sorry. Technology just fails sometimes. We got a new soundboard
brand new.
because that other one
glorious.
there were some other issues like we talked about that other
Yeah.
one too. So we got a new one. Hopefully this one doesn't suck as much.
It already sounds better.
It does sound better. It does sound better. It looks better too. It's fun.
It's got buttons and shit.
Got a little screen.
It's got the sliders on it.
Oh yeah,
And guys,
sliders, not buttons.
yeah.
But yeah, so that's the Die Hard episode for better or for worse.
For now, yeah,
We
for
were
now.
hoping it would have worked, but it did cut out.
So no, but seriously, submit what you think, what your argument is. Listen to our arguments, and if you have something to add to it, feel free, and
Yep.
we'll get into it.
Absolutely.
We'll keep getting into it,
Yeah.
and I hope we never find an answer.
We don't. I still have people yelling at me every day.
I bet if we had Bruce Willis on the show, and he told us what he thought,
He has stated his opinion.
I'm sure I've stated my opinion several times too. But if he were on our show and he gave us an answer, then I'll consider that I'll consider that the win.
Well, he has.
Not on our show.
Not on our show. Touche.
So,
Touche.
yeah, okay.
Until on our show, got you.
It's a dumb joke. I'm sorry. Dumb. All right.
Hey, maybe he'll come on.
Bruce Willis.
But yeah, thank you for your patience. And again, so sorry for the bad soundboard. That soundboard is gone.
Yeah.
It's
Can I have it?
sure.
Cool.
We'll see. Maybe I want to keep
We'll see.
mounted on the wall.
Yeah.
Made the first
Put a
30.
nail through it, and that's a.
Like that's the first 30 episodes, bitch.
Oh yeah, we'll eBay it in like 20 years when we're famous.
Exactly. All right. Anyway, thanks for watching and putting up with our nonsense. Again, feel free to agree, disagree, send in your thoughts. We'll respond to them.
Yeah.
And yeah. Have
Bye
a good one.
guys. Bye.